What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. We are currently on the test server, guys, and as usual, whenever we have a classic fusion, I'm here to bring you a guide on every single one of the epic champions, just in case if you're a new player, you don't have the resources to do the legendary fusion, you don't have the time, or you pull the epic champion and you're curious to see what the champion can do. But before we move over to talk about that, guys, I just want to let you know, if you enjoyed the music you hear in the video, I partnered up with Soundstripe, which is a royalty-free music library. So if you're a content creator, a music enthusiast, feel free to check them out. They have some amazing music. I will be leaving their link in the description down below and in the pinned comments. Plus, I can save you a 15% on checkout by using code SCRATCH. So I'm not gonna spend tons of time on every single one of the champions, guys. I'm gonna show you the builds. I'm gonna take them in one thing in the game. We're gonna talk about where else they can be useful for your account and what can they do. So if we're gonna start with the first one based on affinity, we're gonna have the Force one, Broodlord, and he's from the Lizardman faction, Force affinity, defense-based champion. He's gonna be amazing for faction wars. One thing to keep in mind, he can be great for the Doom Tower as well to help you out with CCing the waves and give you a bit of support, survivability. Great for dungeons. We're actually gonna try this one in the spider dungeon because I kind of have like an idea with him. Now, the build that we have is a regeneration set and an HP set. That's kind of like what I had left around. Total stats, 44k HP, 4.7k defense, 235 speed, 354 accuracy, since you could use him on the hard mode Doom Tower to help you on the waves. Now, why do I have him on a regeneration set? Because he's gonna get to put the ally protection. We want him to get to heal a bit. On the A1, we have a provoke. Again, a regeneration helps a lot with that. Ally protection. And we have stun. He synergizes very good with champions that land decreased speed, okay? The chance to land the stun increases by a lot. So we're gonna get up to 85% chance if we have decreased speed. And we're gonna get to land decreased speed if a champion that's under ally protection gets attacked. So that synergizes even better. If we're looking at the aura, is for all battles, increases ally defense by 25%. Masteries on this champion, guys. I actually went with defense and support 3. I increased the chance to land the stun and the provoke by 5%. I feel like that's gonna help us quite a bit. In terms of support, you definitely want to go on arcane celerity, you want to go on rapid response. Whenever buffs or debuffs expire, he's gonna get more turn meter, he's gonna rotate faster. That means that he's gonna keep your team alive and well supported much better. Now, this is the build on him. We're gonna go straight to the spider dungeon, guys. So if we're going up to stage 25 as an example, and just because he's Force affinity, I don't want him to get targeted on stage 20, you know. I could prepare a different Force champion that has lower HP, and then he's gonna become the target, and this one can land ally protection on that one, and immunity. He's not gonna get poisoned. So that's kind of like an idea. He always prioritizes the ally protection on the lead or positioning, okay? I would assume he's not gonna place it on himself, but let's give it a go. Okay. He's gonna be so awesome with the stuns, though. Just check that out. Together with Sylar, they have such a great synergy. Decrease speed on everyone, and look at all those stuns. Literally, everyone got stunned except the spiderling that dropped afterwards. Pretty badass. Now, one thing that I'm just a bit like, whoa. Why did he actually put the ally protection on Akot, which is kind of like in the last positioning? He's supposed to go for Armiger. He's always going for the lead. I mean, ally protection champions always target the lead. Why did he went for that particular champion? That's something that I'm very curious to see. So now, for example, whenever the enemies, they're gonna attack an ally that's under ally protection, they don't have decreased speed, or even if they have decreased speed, he's gonna have with the passive a chance to land decreased speed on one of the targets that hit our ally, you know. This is pretty interesting why he put the ally protection there. I'm a bit intrigued, so I'm gonna back out and just do a swap. Just I wanna see if this means anything. or he just likes Echo. But anyway, as a CC champion, he's gonna be amazing. If you run him with the same masteries like me, guys, he's gonna rotate so fast that you're not even gonna feel that he has a long cooldown like that. Seems like he just loves Echo for some reason. Now, this is a thing that I cannot explain, except the fact that he's the highest HP champion and he's going for him. Particularly for him because of that reason. If no, I can honestly... You see, we already had a stun again. That's how fast he rotates on the spider. So he's definitely a great champion to help you on the spider progression. With the ally protection, the block debuffs on your champion, it can be pretty good, you know. If you're running him with a decreased speed champion, is even better. So that seems very interesting. He seems to like my Echo more than Armiger or other champions. Maybe somebody knows. Maybe somebody knows. Let me know. What do you guys think? I think that is something related with the HP levels. It's pretty strange because usually all of them they're going for positioning. Like if I put an accurate instead of him, he's gonna go for positioning no matter what. He's not gonna go for the highest HP or highest defense or God knows what else is on the list here, you know. But we lost 2 champions. We are still going strong. We should be able to take them down with the HP burn though. If we're getting another stun here, could be pretty decent. Okay, we landed only the stun only on 2 champions, but we do have that decreased speed, which can be great. Sylar, she's on a stun set as well. She helped us quite a bit there. How you guys can see, we stunned a few more champions. We really need that HP burn and we're gonna be on point, you know. Because that should kill the spider. Okay, look at all those stuns. Pretty nice. Okay, bang, we got them down. We got a decent-ish banner as well. Echo with 12 million damage. Broodlord with 1.2. Actually, not bad at all. Not bad at all, since I haven't built him for damage. Maybe he can hit pretty good with that skill. I haven't thought about using him as a damage dealer. But that's what this champion can do. Plus Faction Wars, plus lots of other content in dungeons, in the Doom Tower as well, guys. Let's move over to the next one. So he's kind of like the CC epic champion from the 4 of them. The next one is Umetogi from the Shadowkin faction, Magic Affinity, guys. I have her built on a Savage set and a crit damage set. Now, the whole idea with this champion is that whenever she's under a perfect veil or veil, she's gonna be able to do a 20% extra chance to crit. So you only need 80% crit rate on her. With the A1 attacks 1 enemy 2 times. With the A2 attacks 1 enemy 2 times. Each hit will ignore 20% of the target's defense. Then the A3, places a perfect veil buff and a 30% increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns. Then fills the Termeter by 40 on a 3-turn cooldown. If you're using this skill first, you're gonna be like, well, she's gonna die. But then she has this awesome passive. Whenever this champion is attacked, completely blocks 1 hit on a 2-turn cooldown, decreasing the incoming damage to 0, then counterattacks with the default skill. When he's getting attacked by a boss, the damage reduction is only 50%. Her aura increases the ally crit rate in all battles by 15, so that means that you can already reduce 35% of her crit rate if you're using that aura, and you're gonna be able to build her much better with a lot of crit damage. Or I can show you how to reduce 65% of her crit rate and still crit every single damn time. We're gonna talk about that champion in a second. Total stats on her: 27k HP, 5.6k attack, 188 speed, 89 crit rate, 273 crit damage. I normally only need 80 crit rate. Masteries: I have offense and defense 3. Since I already have so much crit rate, I actually got Blade Disciple. We're getting a bit of more attack. Tier 6, we have Helm Smasher. We're gonna ignore a bit more defense. Counter attack here as well, just in case, because the passive is on a 2-turn cooldown. So that's Umetogi. First, we're gonna have a look at what numbers can she throw in on stage 23 of the dragon. We wanna see if she can actually bring in some decent damage, okay? So I don't really need to use her as lead, but we're gonna go in like that. And let's see the animation as well and everything that she does actually. I'm curious. Is she gonna use the perfect veil now? Yes, she is. Nice. So she's getting that speed, increased turn meter. 102k, 120. Ooh, wow. That is pretty nice for an epic champion, honestly. And that passive of hers is very unique. I really like the idea of that. Not getting the damage to block the hit is pretty badass. But how I've just seen it there, I think she only blocks one of the hits. So if a champion like Krutraxa would be to hit this champion, what I think is gonna happen, the first hit is gonna get blocked, the second, third, fourth is gonna penetrate through her and kill her. I think that's how the whole thing would work with her. We're gonna have to try it out. So I'm not gonna go through the run. The animations are pretty cool on her. I like when she jumps in and puts the veil and the speed. The damage seems pretty decent on her. She's only a single target. That's kind of like the only problem. But if we're going in arena. So in arena, I'm a bit scared because I don't have gear on all my champions. A lot of them are missing gear. So I'm gonna try to go against some teams like this. I gotta say, Duchess will make her justice, you know, because we have that perfect veil. So I'm gonna try to run a Duchess with her in the team as well and see how she's gonna play out. I'm gonna let it go on Oro actually. Since we have the veil, she should be using her A2 directly. Bang, 51k, 55k. No time to waste. The A1, decent. And that was a counter attack there. 34k hit there with the A1, nice. Okay, let's see. What are we getting out of her? Weak hits? Okay, we're getting weak hits out of her, guys. We are getting weak hits out of her. She got provoked. 17k, that's with defense up on Coronar. So the A1 doesn't seem to make tons of damage. It doesn't seem to have high multipliers. But the A2 seems pretty decent, especially when we ignore that defense. We have the Savage set on her as well. Pretty solid stats as well. I can't even remember if I showed you guys the total stats on her or no. But I'm going to show them to you once we're going back, just in case if I miss them. Let's just try to attack another team. Something like this. I feel like this might be the wise choice. Actually, let's go on this one. Bang, we got that Lydia down. She had no chance. No chance to survive. Nice. You see, completely block the damage from Candy. That's so good, man. That is so good. Where is my legendary that's gonna do that as well and deals damage and it's just useful? That would be so awesome to have a nice, strong champion, meta champion that can do that. The A1, okay. I just take back what I said about her A1. She wanted to prove me wrong. Look at that. I think Harm Smasher procced as well. But that was pretty good. I like how she blocked the damage from Candy. She stayed alive even though she's super squishy. She managed to stay alive. And I respect that. I respect that on a champion. She can actually be a fun one. You can actually have tons of fun with this champion. 99k. But moving over to the next champion, guys, we have Visionary, okay? She's the champion that can make the other champion that we just used to run with only 35 crit rate. That's at least for PvE content. I would not suggest you to run that in arena. This champion is great for progression. Out of all of them, I feel like this one is going to benefit every single one of you if you're like newish mid-game to mid-game, you know. Because we have this. Decreases crit rate, decreases crit damage AoE, increases crit rate, increases crit damage, and fills the turn meter of all allies. That's very badass. On a 3-turn cooldown, and with the A1 we have a chance to decrease the turn meter, and we have an increases ally speed in dungeons by 24%. We have her built on a relentless and a speed set, guys. I just want her to take as many turns, buff my team, and debuff the enemy team as many times as possible, okay? So total stats on her, we have 43k HP, 2.5k attack, 3.1k defense, 265 speed, 374 accuracy. She can be great for the Doom Tower as well to decrease the crit rate and crit damage on all the enemies. On a 3-turn cooldown will actually be huge. Will sustain your champions much better. Her base stats are not the best for a support champion, I gotta admit that. Masteries, I have offense and support 3. I actually went with War Master since she's a dungeon champion. I want her to help my team and provide a bit of damage, at least from War Master procs on bosses. And very important, rapid response, arcane celerity. She's gonna rotate so quick with this mastery since she lands so many debuffs and brings so many buffs on the team as well. Is actually gonna be crazy. And we have lasting gifts, Master Hexer, fully booked. She's gonna have 100% chance to do them both. Awesome stuff. What does this mean for our accounts? When we're early mid-game, some of our builds are not perfect, okay? We don't have enough crit rate, we don't have enough speed, we don't have enough crit damage. So bringing her in the team, guys, throwing her in the lead, for example, it means that we're gonna be able to have everything that we need in terms of speed, turn meter, increased crit rate, increased defense on our champions. And that's actually very important if you want to deal damage. And not just dealing damage, it's very important to control a bit the ads, you know. So I gotta say the epics we have this time around, they are pretty impressive. They're not bad champions at all. And I can totally understand if people will opt out from the legendary because they can't really be bothered with the hassle to fuse a legendary champion, and they're gonna keep some of the epics. Now the main idea is which one of the epic is the best out of all of them. Which one of them you should build as soon as possible, okay? It kind of depends where you are in the game, what exactly you need those champions to do for you. So this one right here is great earlier on and stuff like that, just because of all the debuffs and buffs that she brings to the table, you know. I think she's the only champion that has all that in a single kit. Like, look at all those debuffs. For example, those Hoardings, they can be so annoying when they crit. They're gonna one-shot your champions instantly. But because of her, they're not gonna be able to wreck you. I mean, a non-crit hit, okay, we just go. And let me just take it back. Let me just take that back, okay? That was actually a nasty hit. Why didn't she actually block the damage? I think she needed to be on the perfect veil to block the damage, correct? You see, as soon as I said it, I got clapped by Platinum and I'm like, Skratch, what are you talking about? Let me show you the power of a non-crit hit when a Hoarding is angry. But that was actually pretty fun. So that's kind of like what this champion can do for you. It can work all around, boost, even for arena, guys, if you don't have enough crit rate, crit damage, just because she boosts the turn meter as well. What you could do, for example, is have a Gorgorab, have a Deacon Armstrong, have a champion that boosts turn meter and has a speed lead as well, and make this champion go as the second turn meter booster, buff your team, have the crit rate, have the crit damage for your nukers, and like that, you should be in a sweet spot because you have 2 turn meter boosters. You're not gonna get cut by the enemy as long as you have the right speeds, you know. So we got that flat. That is visionary, guys. Definitely a great champion for progression. What about the last champion that we might have on the list, guys? What can we do with that one? So if we're going all the way down, I think they are the same affinity if I'm not mistaken. And we have Masamoto. He looks dope though. He looks so effing cool. We have him built on a speed set, crit damage set, and crit rate set. Because he doesn't have much in his kit, I said, let me just see, can he do some damage? He's a defense-based champion, Shadowkin, Spirit Affinity. On the A1, attacks one enemy 2 times, small chance to steal a buff. He requires so many books that I kind of lost count. AoE decrease attack, only a 75% chance to do that. And on a 4-turn cooldown, increases defense on all allies and fills their turn meter. So if you would ask me, out of all the 4 epic champions, he looks the coolest, but he's the worst, okay? And he needs the most amount of books. Probably is the only champion I would not recommend anyone to build him because he's so easy to be replaced. He's gonna be decent for Faction Wars if you don't have any other options, but because of this low chance to land a takedown, it's not 100% chance for an epic AoE, it should be at least that. Long cooldown on the increased defense, the amount of books he needs, I would not suggest anyone to build him. Total stats on him, we have 38k HP, 4.2k defense, 225 speed, full crit rate, 276 crit damage, 266 accuracy. Masteries, we have offense and support 3. I gave him Nuker Masteries just to see if he can actually deal damage or no. Tier 6 Helm Smasher. Now most probably, if by any chance you decide to 6-star this champion, give him Tier 6 War Master, and you're gonna see why in a second. If we're comparing all the epic champions that we got in the game with this fusion, I gotta say that we pretty much have everything with them. We have Thermeter, we have tons of buffs, tons of debuffs. So just playing all the 4 epic champions together, they are pretty badass. It actually carries your account. They will help your account a lot. So let's just see what sort of damage can he do. We're gonna buff with Sifi here instead of Arbiter because he's a defense-based champion. And damage-wise, I am not impressed. He's definitely not a champion to be built as a pure damage dealer, because you're giving him damage on the side while you're going for that decrease attack. Is perfectly fine, but I would not run this build on him unless you literally have nothing else better to do and be a bit stupid like me and just build them for damage, because they can deal a bit of damage but not enough damage to justify it, if you know what I mean. So that's kind of like what this champion can do. Increase defense, boost a bit the Thermeter on a 4-turn cooldown, not amazing, and the damage wise is not that amazing. I'm not going to try this champion anywhere else, guys, because there are not many things that I can showcase you with him, except that he can land attack down on a 75% chance and increase defense on a longer cooldown. He just looks awesome though, so that's one thing to keep in mind. If you're asking me, now that we tried all the 4 epics, we kind of gave them like a quick review. Skratch, which one is your most favorite epic champion out of all 4 of them, and why? Visionary, because she brings so much utility. Decrease crit rate, decrease crit damage, speed aura, increase Thermeter, increase crit rate, increase crit damage. She's the most unique out of all the champions in the game because there's no one else like her, and they're very useful, the buffs and debuffs that she actually brings to the table. And the second favorite is the damage dealer. I forgot her name right now. I love the unique passive on her as well. But guys, that was all for this video. Hopefully it helped you out to understand and to decide which one of the epic champions might be right for your account. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and I'll catch you all soon on the next video. Till then, peace.